All right, I think we're streaming. I'm not really sure. I think so. I got to fix this seat. So, what is this? What are we doing here? I haven't been on Small Creator Studio in a long fucking time. Probably like a year, over a year. So, what is this place? And also, why is my phone dead? Hold on. I got to see about plugging this thing in. Hold on a second. By the way, what is this? So this is Small Creator Studio. Originally, if we would go way back, Small Creator Studio was kind of like what you're seeing here. It started off as a place to deliver my own special thoughts on whatever and teaching people to be YouTube content creators. And then over time, like so many things that we do, it started to morph into trying to be something else. It tried to be professional and high quality production to the point, which you can go back and watch some of the other episodes that we have here on Small Creator Studio if you want to. It just blows my mind that I'm thinking about it, that I'm back on Small Creator Studio. It's been so long. But anyways, you can go back and watch the more recent stuff. About a year ago was the last time I posted here on how it got more professional over time. I got a lot of gear in. Spent about $50,000. Well, I got $50,000 in. I didn't spend it all on gear, but I probably spent $5,000 to $7,000 plus or minus 3 to 5. I don't know. It's in the video somewhere how much I spent. It's roughly about $5,000 plus or minus equipment for the studio. So if you're just interested in that, we have the GH6 camera, which actually that came a little bit later in the channel. Originally, I had a G7, which is around here somewhere. I don't know exactly where it's at. I think someone's borrowing it. So we had a G7 originally, and then we have fill light over here, which I'm going to see if you can kind of see the reflection of that there. And then we have a key light on this side, which right now it has a little bit of a block or a scrim blocking half of it to kind of keep up some of the harshness coming off of that main light. Point being that we spent some money on some equipment and gear, and the channel grew to become too professional, basically. Long story short, I was just trying too hard to be a good YouTuber instead of the whole do as you will, do whatever you want kind of a thing that kind of spurs the whole creative mindset. Have you ever been back to the whole YouTuber, small creator YouTuber thing? Are you a YouTuber? Are you a small creator, small content creator, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or anything, any place like that, Instagram, whatever? Most of you aren't, believe it or not. I looked at the metrics, and I think it's like maybe 5% of the people actually have YouTube channels. Now, that's not to say that you might have, like I said, an Instagram or a TikTok or something like that. But as far as on YouTube, only about 5% of you actually have YouTube channels. But have you ever got into being a content creator and over time you just kind of change your skill or your persona or whatever, your personality? That's what basically happened on this channel. The channel started off being a very basic, like hangout, ID, GAF, I don't care, kind of a channel where I think my first episode, I was literally just smoking a cigarette and drinking some tea or something on a green background. I think the original channel name was Under the Green Screen was the original channel name of this channel. And I started doing a couple of things and trying to get better at some things, trying to improve on my visual performance and my thumbnails and titles and all that kind of stuff. I think we all try to get a little bit better over time. But that getting better took over. And eventually, while it was a good thing because I created better, higher quality content, I started losing my creativity and my originality to try to appease people or try to do the right thing, the best appearance, the most professional appearance. And coincidentally, at the same time, before I get into the coincidentally, let me step back into the story to round out the story for you. So I got about halfway up through the professionalism, and then I started getting that feeling like, what am I doing? Like, it's great that I'm making high quality stuff, but I'm losing my own personality, my ability to just have fun and not care and do whatever I want. And so I created a sister channel. This one's called Small Creator Studio. This retained, to a large extent, the professionalism up to this point. So I created a sister channel called Small Creator Unfiltered. And in that channel, I break that entire story back down again. So if you haven't seen Small Creator Unfiltered, it's still there. And the only reason why we're on Studio right now instead of Unfiltered, which is supposed to be the version of Small Creator that is unfiltered, which is what we're doing right now. The only reason why we're on Studio as opposed to Unfiltered is because I can't remember my logon for Unfiltered, or else I'd be on Unfiltered right now. So we're just going to continue in the unfiltered mindset. I did Unfiltered for a good minute, a little while. It's still there. But then I guess a great thing happened. You can call it a great thing. It is a great thing. I met someone. So I met a business partner in the YouTube game. I was doing a AT&T installation for someone. I was an AT&T technician, an installer. And I did an install for somebody. His name is Shaquille Bush. And we got to having conversations and talking about YouTube and how to become, oh, shit, my camera went out. You got to love it, man. This is the great thing about YouTube production, being live. Hang on just a second while I change the battery in the camera. I will be right back. Thank the Lord Almighty. All right, we're back. We're back. I assume you can hear me. I don't have my headphones in, but I assume you can hear me. Where was I? All right, cool. So I met Shaquille Bush. Now that the camera's back on. I met Shaquille Bush doing the install, and we got to talking, and we both decided, hey, we should do a YouTube channel together. And he was into gaming and doing the whole Call of Duty and Madden thing. And he was doing all right. By his own story, the one that he's told me and he's told other people, that he had been doing YouTube for about 5 years and has picked up 800 and something subscribers, 811 I think at that time. Why the 811 is important, I'll tell you in just a moment. But he had picked up 811 subscribers, and it took him 5 years to do it. So we started talking and decided to team up and try to figure something out. Well, what is a good, easy niche to get into when it comes to becoming a YouTuber? Reaction content. Now, we're going to talk more about that here in a second. But reaction content is what we chose. And we sat down and we thought of a name for the YouTube channel. That name is there. It's on YouTube. If you know it, if you recognize me from the channel, then congratulations to you. You've watched our channel. That YouTube channel has more subscribers than this one. That channel has a little over 16,000 subscribers, edging its way towards 17,000 subscribers. And we've been doing that for a little over a year. I'm going to do something real quick while I try to, I'm going to try to get see if I can do it on this screen. I've got two screens. I got the Mac over here, and I've got the, like the monitor or whatever going on this side. So I'm going to see if I can pull up real quick. I got to switch channels here because I'm on the main channel. I call it the main channel. The one that Shaq and I put together, the Bush and I put together, is the main channel. I got that studio pulled up. And again, if you already know the channel, then thank you for being a fan of that channel. We'll talk about it in a minute. That's why in the description of this live video right now, it says the secret channel, because unless you, for some reason, subscribe to Small Creator Studio from our mentioning of it on the main channel, then you don't know that these two channels are connected. Let's go to switch account. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Of course, it doesn't have my Small Creator Studio channel. That's awesome. Let's see if we can do it this way. That's unfiltered. What the fuck? All right. I can't find it. Am I on studio right now? Y'all tell me. Did this pop up on studio or unfiltered? Because I don't see my studio page. Let me try one more time. Bear with me. Let's see. Switch account. I'm scrolling. Add account. Is it? You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I am just going to navigate to my own channel on YouTube. The old traditional way. The old way of doing things. Let's just search it. That way I can keep up with your comments if you leave anything. Small Creator Studio. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. How am I not subscribed to my own channel? Videos. Am I on Unfiltered right now? Did this come up on Unfiltered? Did I just am I posting right now on Unfiltered? I thought this was Studio. It must be. Hold on. What the fuck? Let me go to Unfiltered. I might be on Unfiltered. Isn't that messed up? I don't even know which one I'm on. Unfiltered. Let's try that one. Oh, shit. Okay, my bad. Welcome to Unfiltered. I am on Unfiltered. Who would have thought? Okay. All right, well, we're Unfiltered then. I guess we're in the right place. We're in the right place. All right, let me go to my live so I can keep up with what's going on. All right, cool. Let's turn that volume down. All right, cool. So we're on Small Creator Unfiltered. For some reason, I don't know why, but I'm looking at on both screens here. I need to work out. My arms are so small. But on my MacBook, it is like a darker, like, I don't know, maybe it's just this monitor. Let me pull the screen across and see if it's just the monitor. Oh, it is the monitor. Okay, never mind. The monitor makes my face look all flushed out and pale. And the MacBook actually brings out the color. My beautiful tan. Anyway, so we are here on Unfiltered, apparently. Where was I in the story? So me and Bush were, and there's two watching. Thank you for that. Anyways, so me and Bush decided to get a channel together, and we'll talk about it here in a second if you're interested. Yes, that channel has over 16,000 subscribers. But we went into that channel knowing that the genre of reaction content is traditionally very easy because, I mean, honestly, let's be honest for a second because this is Unfiltered. We're stealing the views of other famous people. That's basically what it comes down to. I mean, long story short, that's what all reactors are. YouTube, like music video reactors, or really kind of any kind of reactor for that point, that matter. We're like all reactors are just, when you boil it down, just stealing the views of other famous people who've created something else. I'm just going to call it like it is. And in true Small Creator Unfiltered fashion, I have to drink something. So, Pure Unfiltered Chaos, if you don't know, is the name of our channel. You can search that up if you want. Pure Unfiltered Chaos is the name of our main channel. So, yeah, go do that. Pure Unfiltered Chaos. We do reaction content. And I haven't touched Unfiltered. I haven't touched this channel right here in probably over a year because we started doing Unfiltered back in last March. So March of 25, we started doing Pure Unfiltered Chaos, which Pure Unfiltered Chaos was called Unfiltered Chaos because of this channel name being Small Creator Unfiltered. We just transferred the unfiltered part onto Pure Unfiltered Chaos. That's kind of where that came from. So this is the secret channel. This is now the secret channel of Pure Unfiltered Chaos, where I talk shit and can let loose, because you know what? This channel is not monetized. So I don't have to worry about copyrights. I don't have to worry about making anybody mad. Only to a certain degree do I have to worry about making Bush mad. Shaq. I don't know. I don't think he watches it. If he does, well, sorry, bro. I might say some shit. It's Pure Unfiltered. What is this channel? Small Creator Unfiltered. I'm going to say some shit. This is the behind the scenes, because I just want to get back in the camera again and do something channel. There's really no agenda, to be honest. I just wanted to be able to get on the mic and talk to the camera and get back into that whole idea that we talked about a second ago of just being loosened up and not having to give a shit. Because when you are part of a channel that, I don't want to say that we're successful, because I wouldn't call it successful by most standards. We have some subscribers. We have 16K, which is, in the grand scheme of things, not the biggest, most amazing channel in the world. But it is enough that you actually have to start worrying about what you're doing and what kind of content you're putting out and what kind of words you're saying and thumbnails and titles and all that shit. How you edit. So there's a lot more intentionality in, you know, maintaining something that a lot of people are going to be watching your stuff. Depending on the video, depending on the music video or whatever we do, it can get anywhere from, like any other video, on the low, you know, less than 100. We've had one. It was Tyler, the Creator, that we did that got like, I want to say like 25 views after like a couple of days. And it was like, what the fuck? 25 views after a couple of days. Come on, man. Tyler, the Creator, he's like a pretty well-known dude. And we picked his one of his better songs. So I don't know what the fuck happened with that. So it was so bad that I moved it on to our website, pureunfilteredchaos.com. pureunfilteredchaos.com. I moved it over there just because it sucked. The reception on it was fucking shit. So I moved it over there. But we also have videos that fucking smashing out the ballpark. We uploaded our first XG. So I don't know if you're into like K-pop or J-pop or whatever. But we uploaded our first XG reaction, which is technically J-pop or X-pop, depending on who you ask. We uploaded that, and that thing fucking blew up out of nowhere. I didn't expect it. I thought they were going to be like a mid-tier K-pop group, because we had done BTS and we did Blackpink, who's like just as popular as BTS, if not more in some regards. And so when we heard XG, people were talking about XG. We're like, okay, well, they're probably like mid-grade. And we uploaded that expecting maybe to get a couple thousand views on it. That shit hit like fucking fire. I think in like a couple of weeks, it hit like 50,000 views. We had no idea it was going to do that. So the point being is that sometimes shit just catches fire, and you can't put crap out because you never know. You can't put like bad crap out because you never know when something is going to catch. And sometimes you think something's going to catch and it just does nothing. So sometimes you can't tell. Sometimes you can tell. Sometimes there are signs it's a shitty topic, or you're just not invested in talking about or being part of that video a lot. You say your head's not in it, and your editing and your thumbnail and all that kind of stuff's just not really into it. So you got a pretty good feeling that it's probably not going to do a whole lot. But every once in a while you do something and it just fucking explodes out of nowhere. So again, the point being that like you can't take the mentality like we have here on on Small Creator Unfiltered to just do whatever the fuck you want or say whatever the fuck you want, because you might be in front of 50,000 people and ultimately 100,000, 200,000. Our highest viewed video on the channel, on the main channel, is 220,000 or 240,000. I don't know if I can remember. It's just a fucking number. And then the next one under that's another about 200,000. So we have a lot of them that are edging real close to 100,000. I'm just going to sit here and shoot stats for a minute because why not? We earned it. Edging real close to 3 million views and monetized, of course. You know, we get the check from Google, which is great. It's whatever. I don't have a Maserati. I can tell you that much. And since it's unfiltered, I'll be open about it. I don't really care. We do about $200 a month. 200, maybe 300 on a good month. When we first started, we hit a couple of pretty good videos off the bat, like Tom McDonald and some Ren videos and some other ones that really smashed out the ballpark. Our early NF stuff really hit. And so we had a check from Google for like $600 one month. That's not bad. But on average right now, we're floating around 200 plus or minus 200 to 300. I think our last check was like 275 or something like that for the month. It's not huge. Like I said, we're not buying Lamborghinis or anything like that. It's just really more about the game, long term, like the long run game. Like we've been doing this for a year, a little over a year and a couple of months. And it's about building the skill. And that's part of the reason why I want to get back on this channel was, first of all, to have a place where I can say, fucking shit, I don't give a fuck, and give my real opinion about stuff. And then also, to offer some insights from the bullshit that we've been through in the last, basically a little over a year. Some stuff that we learned, some stuff we did right, some stuff we did wrong, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff. But ultimately, when you really boil it down, I just wanted a place to not give a shit anymore. So this channel is about not giving a shit about anything. But the beauty of getting on camera and not giving a shit is that you can imagine, I'm sure you can imagine, that it allows you to be whoever your genuine self is in front of a camera, in front of, potentially thousands of people. I don't know how many people are going to watch it, but potentially thousands of people, and get to the point where you can just basically do and say and be whatever. And it does give you the ability to be more creative because you don't have that little voice in the back of your head that says, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make that face, or don't use that tone of voice or whatever. You can do whatever. And some things might work and some things might not work, but you can be in a safe space, a sandbox, as they say in coding, a sandbox of a safety zone to do whatever you want. So that's why we're here. That's what we're doing, Oh man, looking at myself in the camera, I need to work out because that shit's not gonna fucking cut it. Anyways, if you guys are hanging out, I don't know if you're hanging out because I'm not really constantly watching the views meter. But if you are hanging out, just put in the comments section something, just because it is easier to hang out on camera if I got someone to talk to. If not, that's cool too. It's whatever. If not, you're going to be staring at me doing a whole lot of stupid bullshit that doesn't matter. I guess, real quick, what can we talk about real quick? I'm just looking at the picture difference between my MacBook and my little monitor. There's such a huge difference in quality of picture. Like the one with the Mac, and hopefully it's the one you're looking at, is got like I said, full color. You can see the rosy cheeks and all that kind of stuff. And the one off the monitor looks like it's just been washed with some denim jeans. There's no color to it. It sucks. Sure, it's the monitor. So some of the things that we might do here on the, Small Creator Unfiltered channel. Some of the things we might do is we'll talk about, like I said, some of the stuff that's gone wrong with the channel. I might bitch about Bush. Who knows? Maybe I will. I might bitch about myself. Bush, if you're watching this, it's not just a roast on you, man. I might be bitching about my own performance and shit. But we'll go over some stuff that worked and some stuff that didn't work. And then maybe we'll do some editing on here at some point. Maybe not today, maybe another day. Who knows? We'll do it at some point. Everything at the beginning of Small Creator Studio and Small Creator Unfiltered in the first half of each of these channels was really about authenticity and finding your voice and finding your own character and your expression. So we'll continue to do that. We'll keep that heritage. We'll keep trying to do that. I do challenge you, though, to a couple things. Number one, go back and watch the early stuff from Small Creator Studio. It's still there. I just saw it. Small Creator Studio and Small Creator Unfiltered. Go back and watch the early shitty-ass fucking videos that I put up because they're fucking shitty. Not to say that this one is the best video that's ever been created, but those are pretty fucking bad. The lighting was bad. Audio was subpar. As you can see, we now have fancy microphones. These are like $100 microphones. And I've got 2 of them. That's right, 2 of them. Actually, I got 3 of them. I got one on the floor too, so I got a total of 3. We had to get a third one because we had a guest on the show, Crimrose Smith. He's a local rapper. So I've got 3. This guy, on a side note, while we're talking about audio, this guy just went out on me. This is the audio controller that we've been using. It's called a PodTrack P4. Good piece of equipment. If you guys don't have one and you're into podcast style, PodTrack P4 I recommend it. It's pretty intuitive. You got 4 ports here for your microphones. And then you have the ability to, this is not like a paid bullshit advertisement thing. I'm just telling you about the piece of equipment in case you want one. But it gives you the ability to mute, and you can adjust each individual mic. It even has 4 knobs at the bottom because it has 4 microphone outputs here. You can adjust the volume on the microphones. It even has on the side a place to connect your phone if you have like an incoming call, like you're doing like a podcast where someone calls into the show. You can take, if you have the old style of a phone that has like the jack on the bottom of the phone, you can plug your phone into the side port here and then do like a call-in function and control their audio from this little device here. And I think I paid like $150 plus tax. Considering everything that it does, it's really a good piece of equipment. However, it did go out on me. We are here in the studio, and I leave most of this stuff plugged into power throughout the day, throughout time, days and weeks. I just leave it plugged in. I think what had happened was while we were gone doing our regular lives, a storm must have come through and hit this thing with a lightning bolt or something like that, because it came on, it powers on, but it would not send any audio. The audio waves would show up on the front of the device, but it would not send that audio into the MacBook. The MacBook didn't recognize that there was anything plugged in. So, had to buy a new one. And it is doing its job over there. Fucking amazing. I love that thing, PodTrack P4. Go get yourself one. If you're doing a podcast, get a PodTrack P4. Go do it. Go do it right now. Where are we at? Yeah, I don't know. I lost my place. We're talking about being authentic and developing your own voice over time, and I was challenging you to go watch the earliest stuff to compare it to where we are now. That's right. I was talking about how we've upgraded the lighting and the audio and all that kind of stuff. But the beautiful part about it is that you can see the transformation of the production level, as well as my own personality over time. And it's a good lesson if you want to do your own YouTube channel, or if you're doing your own YouTube channel, to see someone who has gone from super shitty all the way through to relatively decent and mildly successful. And to see the transformation that occurs over time. I think it was Mr. Beast who said you got to do 100 videos before you start like thinking that you're going to be any kind of good. And I would say that's probably, it's a little high, to be honest. 100 videos, a little bit high. If I was to give you my honest answer on how many videos it takes to be decent, about half that. Probably, yeah, 30 to 40 videos. You got to keep in mind that when you're doing YouTube videos, you got to keep in mind that you're not just changing one thing from one video to the next video. You're watching, hopefully you're watching your video back and you're taking notes and you're saying, okay, well, that sucked. That was not good. That looked horrible. Like, why did I either not edit it at all, or why did I edit it that way? Because that just looks atrocious. So hopefully you're watching your own stuff back and you're taking notes, and you're gonna, from video 1 to video 2, and each one after that, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, you are changing multiple things, not just one thing. So let's see. Can we? Actually, I think we can. Let's go over to. Hold on. Let's do it. Let's go to Small Creator Unfiltered, which is this channel. But I think I can plug in. Watch this. Watch this magic that I learned from production. You ready? In this general vicinity, where's my hands at? Here? General vicinity right here, like magic. I'm going to make the screen pop up over here. Bam. Impressive, right? That's OBS. If you're ever interested in, stuff like that, OBS. So we have my MacBook Safari screen pulled up. And I can make that bigger and smaller. But for right now, let's just maximize this screen. Let's go full screen so it looks better. Full screen, entire screen, bam. Okay. So full screen. Let's just, fuck it. Let's just go back and look at some of the shit ass fucking videos. Oh, and also, apparently, I've lost some weight too, which I knew that. But I was like 210 during this era, and I dropped down to probably 178, somewhere around there. 175, I don't know, plus or minus. And so if for some reason, Mike got in the way. If for some reason you guys are from the Pure Unfiltered Chaos side, or you end up seeing this after the fact, this is the first time, I'm going to make that disappear. This is the first time from Pure Unfiltered Chaos, if you come from that channel, probably not, that you have seen me without my hat. It doesn't happen very often, but there it is. Just for the special people like you. All right, and then I always got to fix the fucking bangs. Good enough. Fuck it. All right, let's go ahead and go to, where are we at? Let's bring that back. I don't want live streams. Let's go to videos. Should we make this bigger? Let's do it. Let's make the screen bigger so you people can actually see it. All right, here comes some magic for you. Bam. Is that good? You got to leave a little bit of space for my face. Let's move over a little bit so you can see me. Is that conceited? Probably. Let's move it up. Let's delete the little black box. Do you wish to remove the black? Yes. It's gone. Okay. I guess that'll work. All right, cool. I'm going to try. You know what? I'm going to try to. Let me switch mics. This is too far away. Hold on. All right. There we go. Switch the microphone. Okay, dokie. Let's go to oldest. Oldest. This mic's too far away also. The Mac is too far. Come here, Mac. And it's also tied to my camera. So if I pull the Mac too hard, then the camera comes down with it. So let's not do that. Blah, 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 blah. Is that all I have? For real? Oh, those are live streams again, aren't they? Videos. Let's just do it this way. No shit. Really? Okay, tell you what. Let's go to Small Creator Studio because it has more of the raw stuff on it. Like, ironically, the more raw, unfiltered stuff is at the beginning of Small Creator Studio. I'm hiding behind the box. Small Creator Studio. There we go. There we are. Yeah, ironically, the more raw stuff's on Studio. I wonder if I can zoom that in. I think I can. Look at that. That's cool. Now you can see shit. Let's go all the way bottom. Now, I'm not going to play the whole video for you, obviously, because that would be a dick move. I mean, maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll do those, like, let's watch movies together, get some popcorn and kick back and just talk shit about the old stuff. But we'll check out this video. I just want you to be able to see, like, the difference in, like, production value between the old stuff and the relatively new stuff. And this is something I talk about, like, all the time, is the growth of, like, professionalism and quality and all that over time. The more times you YouTube. This fucking autofocus is having some problems, isn't it? There we are. Look at that fat ass. And no audio. Let me fix the audio. Why are you being a bitch? Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. It's because it's turned down on the Mac.
Even though millions of people try to do it all the time and don't succeed.
Not
and
fun.
You're probably wondering, hey man, this guy's only got like 6 views on his last video.
Hold up.
What is he talking about? I've got another channel. Actually, I've got 2 or 3 channels. And so I'm just trying something a little bit different with this channel. Something a little bit basic and easy vlog style that I haven't done on my other channels. But yeah, no, I've done this before. All right, so basically,
I don't know if that's echoing.
A giant advertisement machine.
For me, it's echoing.
And
hopefully, it's not
job
echoing
is
for
to
you.
Sell advertisements, and the way they do that is by putting up content from creators that keep the viewer engaged in watching constantly.
Hold on, bros.
So, what do you need to do to get some of that YouTube money? Number one is to have
Here's what
an
I'm gonna
idea.
do.
And if I was really good at editing or wanted to do the editing,
Here's what I'm
I'd
gonna do.
put,
I'm gonna pause this
right
guy.
here, caption number 1
Pause.
idea.
Pause, motherfucker. And I'm gonna go to another YouTube, so I can switch back and forth and just see if it's echoing. I don't want it to echo for you guys. That's the point. I don't want it to echo for you because that would suck. Hold on. Stand by. Okay. Let me just go back 1 second, y'all. Between the old stuff and the relatively new stuff, it's turned down on the Mac.
All right, so basically,
I don't know if
YouTube
that's
is a
echoing.
giant advertisement machine.
For me, it's echoing.
And
Hopefully,
their
it's
whole
not
job
echoing.
is to
Okay,
sell
cool.
advertisements. And the way
I
they
just
do
watched
it
back
is
the
by
live stream, and it is not.
creators
It is not echoing for you.
the
That's good.
engaged in
All right, let's go back
watching.
to. Let's get back to work.
So, what do you need to do to
Cool. All right, back to it.
do that? Number 2 would be to be entertaining. There's a couple of ways to do that. You can do what's called retention editing or various editing techniques. You can do cool camera movements and slide transitions, and put up graphics and all kinds of stuff like that. Or you can just have the personality, which is what we're doing here. This is the
Blah 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 blah
whole
blah.
building the personality thing.
Cool.
Like I said, I've got other
Good job,
channels
dude.
where I do the whole graphics and editing and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to be
All right. So the point being, let me make him disappear. As I slide back to the middle. The point being is that. Fucking hell. There we go. Maybe. Cool. What's the point? The point is that production changes over time. Production changes over time. And I guess it would be a good idea to pull up some of the newer stuff, I guess, as a contrast. I'm going to try to keep this mic and just, I don't know, stretch or something, make it work. Let's bring this dude back up. Let's look at the newer stuff real quick. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Just as a showcase to show how much I like the Cowboys. No, I'm kidding. To to show the difference between when you start and when you've been doing it for a little bit, and the difference that it makes, and why staying consistent is important. So let's hit the giant back button. How about, what y'all want to do, some kitchen stuff? Some of the stuff's actually pretty decent. How about this one? It's not bad. This is pretty good. Roll it. Roll that beautiful footage. God damn it, Mac. What the fuck are you doing?
They say the best camera for the beginner creator is the one in your pocket.
There you go.
Well, today we're going
How's
to
that,
leave
dude?
the Samsung and the iPhone behind, and we're going to switch over to the Panasonic. Now, I've got a confession to make. From the beginning, I've always said we've had a GH6.
Jeez, he's
until
so
I had to buy
round.
some batteries. And when the batteries didn't fit, I realized that I've been using a G7 the whole time. But
true,
instead of
I
sending
was.
the batteries back, I decided, hey, why don't we just get a GH6 to match the batteries? So today's unboxing and upgrade is the Panasonic GH6 and all the gear that I got with it. Let's check it out.
Look at that smooth pan. A little bit of zoom in action.
Panasonic GH6 can record up to 5.8K in 30 frames per second or 5.7K in 60 frames per second.
I think I'm still
It's got
using the
40 different
iPhone here.
recording modes and can record in Apple ProRes.
In this
thing
moment,
is just
in this
shy of a
show.
cinema camera and a mirrorless camera body, and it goes
I'm on an
head-to-head with the
iPhone,
Sony
I think.
FX3. Today we're going to use the G7 for all the top-down shots. It's got the same configuration as we were using in the other studio with the G-Vario 14 to 42 small aperture lens. And for the main camera and all the detail shots, we're going to be using the GH6 with the Miki 25mm macro lens.
Look at that
This
pan
thing's got a
shot.
little bit
That's
more
nice.
horsepower behind it, and it should leave the Samsung and the iPhone
In the dust.
And we didn't stop there. We got some upgrades for this thing too. So before we take the Samsung off the tripod, let's go over some of the things we got in this week.
And we can talk about how to do some of these shots too and how to make them better.
So this is the configuration I'm going to be using going forward, whether it's in this niche, the cooking channel, or in future niches such as fitness or home improvement. So we're not done yet. Let's take a look at the next piece of equipment that we got in.
Yes, we're
Upgrade
literally
GH6.
watching old footage
I know
as a
what you're thinking,
comparison.
The monitor's backwards, but since we're going to be using it to record ourselves, we got the monitor facing the front so we can keep an eye on where we are in the scene. Let's go ahead and switch this thing out, see what the difference looks like.
I still
now
have
you're
that
looking
gear,
at
I
the
just never
picture
use
from
it.
the Samsung S23, and now you're looking at the GH6. You know, the gear's not the only thing that we upgrade here. We're also going to be upgrading our cooking skills. Let's go over what we're going to be cooking today. Today we're cooking a cowboy steak with roasted potatoes. Let's get the stove light turned on, the pan heated to medium high,
let me pause this,
and
dude.
the oven start.
You can already tell, let me just do like a real reaction. Like you can already tell that the camera quality is like way better when you switch over to, if you pay attention to like the part where it goes from like basically the iPhone or the Android, the Samsung Galaxy S23, I think is what I had. When I went from that over to the GH6, which is what is on the tripod right now, the picture quality went, it's a lot better. So that goes back to the whole, sometimes when you spend money, sometimes it's not just about, getting more relaxed on camera or developing a personality on camera. Sometimes it actually is about the gear. And that's kind of what this was showcasing, as we can see from my rather wide stature. We were showcasing the benefits of having better production equipment. So I'm going to get out from underneath this rectangle and let's continue.
400 degrees. Because the potatoes are going to take longer at 30 to 35 minutes as opposed to the 20 for the steak, we need to get those ready first.
Look at that
So we'll go
nice
ahead and get our
kitchen
cutting
too.
board out so that we can dice up the potatoes into quarters.
So
We'll see.
real quick, one of the things that I had to do to prep for that episode was kitchen cleaning. So that goes into the idea, I'm trying to switch positions. Like normally you would have two cameras, like one pointing this way and then a second one that you could hit with like a Stream Deck or whatever, or on your computer. I do have other cameras here. I just never use them because we just do a static shot for the main show. So that's all I'm using right now. So I gotta be the person that moves. But anyways, the point being, as far as the kitchen, you know, you got to take into consideration like what your actual background looks like or your set. There's a whole field in Hollywood of like set design for a reason. Those people make a lot of money. Same thing as interior designer for a house. So whenever I made this episode, I spent a long time cleaning and polishing and getting everything pretty. Anything that's like in the frame. You know, they say whenever you are a cinematographer that you should be able to take a snapshot of any part of the video and it should be beautiful enough to be able to hang on your wall. So that being the case, you really should pay attention to what your set looks like. You can see behind me that we have a very basic set on Pure Unfiltered Chaos. You can see that we have a couple of, you know, LED tubes and that wall that I built back there. And it's blue. It's painted blue. It's actually, yeah, it's kind of like a gray blue. You can't tell because of the lights, but actually like gray and a blue. But it's simple for a couple of reasons. Number one, because at the time I didn't have the funds to get a really fancy studio. But also because it allows us to, because it is relatively plain in the background, it allows us on the main channel to put cool background stuff in the background, whether it's just the title of the song and the name of, you know, whatever artist it is, or to do like a complete background effect show, which we do sometimes. The background effect shows take so many hours to edit because that's what I do. I film, I'm on the camera, and then I do all the editing. And the we call them visual beat experiences, but the background effects based shows or episodes take an insane amount of time to edit. On average, on like the lowest amount of time it takes to do a background effect episode is like 4 hours. That's on the low side, 4 hours of editing. If there's no background effect, if it's just basically the name or some picture in the background, then I can sneak away with like hour to 2 hours worth of editing. A lot of it's color grading, getting the color correct and the contrast and the lighting and all that kind of stuff correct in post-production. That's what most of my time is spent on editing. Because I don't know if you've seen some of the editing episodes that we've done. If you go back to Pure Unfiltered Chaos, there were some lives that we did where I did like live editing episodes. You can see that it's a lot of it is just dropping a video file on there at the basic level, just doing some basic lighting changes or color grading basically, and then maybe putting something in the background in intro, outro, transition in the middle. That's the most basic edit. And then if we want to be a little bit fancier, then we'll include zoom ins to Bush or myself. And that's not hard to do either. You basically just snip a section and then zoom it in for that one section just on that person. And you can literally just, as far as like the zoom, you can literally just hit copy, find the other places that it wants to zoom on that person, and hit paste on each one. So it's not too bad of a deal. If I'm doing zoom ins, it's a good solid 2.5 hours to edit if it has zoom ins. If we're just doing a flat, like no zoom in video, I've knocked out one before on a 1 hour lunch at work because it's like, I need to get something out. So let me just knock out this really shit ass edit. And then it's actually a Tom McDonald video. I remember I was on lunch at work and I was like, I got to get this video out like now because it's 11 o'clock. A lot of people are on lunch. I got to get it out right now. So I went from raw video, full edit with Tom McDonald and his music overlaid, and then out the door, thumbnail, fucking everything, title and thumbnail, and uploaded in 1 hour. It's the fastest edit I've ever done, but it was like a shitty edit. So generally speaking, it does take about 2 hours or so into an edit. So that's a good point. If you are like an actual content creator and you plan on doing YouTube videos, either I don't know, make content that doesn't require editing, or get really good at editing fast, or spend money on an editor, or have someone else do it, I guess. That's Bush's philosophy, just have someone else do it. So anyway, there's that. I was talking about the background, though, and the importance of making sure the set or the design behind you is in place and looks good. And then I, derailed into fancy backgrounds. And just to mention that if we do fancy background, dynamic background stuff, it does take at least 4 hours. The longest one that I've done that I can remember, I think I've logged 12 hours into one of them. I know for a fact I've done a 10-hour edit. That was the wing videos, like one of the first ones I ever did that was like a fancy edit. That was 10 hours of keyframing. And then I've had a couple of them that are in the 8 to 12 range, plus or minus, in that range. Anytime you see a visual beat experience video, it's probably a 10-hour edit, most likely. That's why you should watch that shit, because it took me forever. All right, let's get back to this dude doing some cooking stuff.
Put some oil on them, and then we'll get them in the oven. All right, before you start cutting, you want to make sure your potatoes are washed. We've already got that taken care of. So we're going to go ahead and start cutting these in
I just
quarters.
keep going back to how wide that guy is. Some potatoes.
All right, the potatoes are cut up. Let's transfer it to a bowl so we can put some seasoning and oil on it.
I did spend a pretty good amount of time on the lighting on this episode, getting the light to hit just right.
In the last episode, we did set design and we added some herbs to the background. We're actually going to be using those herbs today. We're going to be using the rosemary. Let's grab a sprig of rosemary, chop it up, and we'll toss it in with the potato.
And there's something else I want to mention real quick too. When you're doing something that has a direct, like you're trying to say something specific. Like right now, in contrast, like right now, we're just winging it. This is a whole just winging it kind of a thing. So I don't have to create a script or practice saying something over and over and over again. I just fucking turn on the mic and I stare at the camera and I say some shit. So this is live right now. If you happen to be watching this right now, I'm not looking at the views counter at all. But if for some reason you happen to be watching this, literally right now, somewhere in the world, I know where it's at. You probably don't know where it's at, but I know where it's at. Somewhere in the world right now, I am literally just talking shit into a camera. I'm spitballing right now. But that's the contrast to something like the video that we're watching on the side over here, where there were things that I had to say because I was walking through a process. So it's important to understand that that's another aspect of creating content, being a YouTube, content creator, or any content creator for that matter, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, is that if you have a specific thing that you want to say, if it's not straight up IRL in real life, then you have to practice saying it. And hopefully you can memorize it and say it in the first time or two. But whenever I did this shoot, there were some of these scenes. It's not like this obviously was not just, off the cuff. There's obviously some editing going on this video because I had to put all those shots together in a certain order and different angles and whatnot. So it's not like this was a one-take video. Even though, as an audience, even myself as an audience, when I go watch TV or watch a movie, I don't think about that process. And you probably don't think about it whenever you're watching a movie or TV or YouTube video. You don't think about the fact, and I don't think about the fact that editing happened. And all the stuff that happens in the background, like actors had to say that line a couple of times. It kind of takes the magic out of it if you do think that way. But sometimes as editors and content creators, we do think about those things when we watch movies and TV. So in this situation here, there were certain things or certain lines that I would say more than once. Either I'd stumble through it or I didn't get the timing right or, the steak caught on fire or whatever the case. No, steak never caught on fire. But there were things that I had to do a couple of times, or maybe there was something in the way, or I noticed that the bowl of lemons, now that I'm talking about the bowl of lemons, I'll just pull this back up. maybe the bowl of lemons was in the wrong spot or something. So I had to rerun it again. And hopefully, dear God, hopefully that your audio is working right. There's been times on Pure Unfiltered Chaos that like the audio doesn't record properly. We'll do an entire like 3 to 4 hour recording session over here for Pure Unfiltered Chaos, and then the fucking audio is jack shit, and we can't fucking use it. We've had a week or two like that. We spend 3 hours out here recording. I'm sitting over here, Bush sitting over here. We do the whole reaction thing, and then I go to edit the next day, and it's all just garbage audio. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but because you got to reshoot that too. All right, let's get back into it. This is starting to become an actual reaction video to old content.
Tell you what, that actually smells really good.
It's hot.
Make sure you get all the leaves off the stem. And we're gonna finally chop the rosemary. We've got the rosemary chopped up. Let's go ahead and add that to the bowl. Let's go ahead and grab our seasonings real quick.
I like how
Today
the
we're gonna be
blade
using
sound
seasoned
came
salt,
through.
garlic powder, and 21 seasoning salute from Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's.
All right, a light sprinkling of each seasoning.
All right, so here's a tip for you. If you're doing stuff like this, IRL stuff, and this is me coaching myself just as much as it's me talking to you guys, but if you're doing IRL stuff in any kind of video production, not only to make your set nice and your lighting and audio good, but on audio itself, you want to make sure that you are capturing all the sounds necessary to convey your story. So one of the things I liked about this specific video, and I don't remember how I mic'd it up exactly. I think I just had the mic on my shirt or something. But it did pick up the audio of the knife scraping on the glass cutting board and even the clanking on the glass bowl. And so you get those almost visceral effects, so real life effects of not just voice and music, but sound effects, like real life sound effects of stuff happening in a room. And that is, that really brings the video to life. So if your audio system is not picking up the proper like sound effects that you really need to be adding into your show or video or whatever, try to take the time to just capture those audio effects after the fact. Like, let's just say that you're in the cars, and you're making a video about cars zooming away or something like that. Get your mic next to a muffler and then have it rev up or drive away real fast, and then keep that audio file to drop into your actual video. It makes a huge difference. It's called Foley. So something to think about. And it's probably not a bad idea to have a couple of different microphones as well as cameras. That's where the production expense comes from. Microphone, cameras, all of it. And you put them all together and make a happy pie, or in this case, steak and potatoes. Uh-oh, wrong button.
And then let's throw some oil on this thing, mix it up, and we'll put it into the small dish and get it into the oven. We're going to be using classic olive oil.
Got some background music going.
And we'll go ahead and give that a stir.
So,
all right, once the potatoes are well covered, you can go ahead and transfer it to whatever dish you're going to be using to put into the oven.
delicious.
This one is an oven-safe glass dish from Anchor.
All right, real quick. And I'll leave the screen up for a second. So just a quick note, and then we'll get back into it. I know this is riveting for you. But a quick note is that when it comes to the audio, because we're just talking about audio right now, remember to have multiple layers of audio. So you're going to have your voice track, your mic'd up voice stuff like we have right here. And then you're going to have background noise often, not always, but often, whether it be just music or what you call room noise or traffic noise or whatever's happening in the background of your world. And then you're going to have your little, what we call Foley sound effects, like the clanking and the scraping and stuff like that. So don't forget to add or include all those things. Make sure you include all those things whenever you're doing your video. Everyone knows about having microphones for the people speaking. But if you really want the full experience, they say 70% of, or 60 or 70% of the video experience actually comes from your ears. So don't forget to have your microphone for your voice audio and have, the microphone for either put background music in or have something going on kind of floating through the background. Right now it's this damn AC unit. And then also your sound effects too. Include your sound effects. So carry on.
Let's go ahead and get this thing into the oven.
Let's get it in the oven.
All right, that's going to go at 400 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. That gives us some time to go ahead and prep our steak.
Oh.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I'm interested.
All right, before the steak, we're going to start off with covering it in butter.
Covered in
And
butter.
we're going to be cooking it at about medium-high heat. Make sure the pan's hot. We want to sear it for about 2 to 3 minutes on each
I love the way
side,
those
and
lemons
make sure you
work.
sear the edges as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at this steak.
The lemons look really good in the shot. And like, when you think about it, like, does anybody really have a bowl of lemons just sitting on their island or their counter? No, not usually. They probably have them in a fridge, maybe in one of those fancy fruit things, but no one has a bowl of lemons. But your mind doesn't think about that. It's not like most people don't look at the shot and say, oh, well, he's just got a random bowl of lemons. That's not realistic. No, they're just like, oh, wow, that looks nice, that color pop. Because look at the scene here. You got all gray neutral tones, and that's fine for a basic canvas. But then you have color pop through the lemons and the green foliage, and even the steak and the bottle of oil in this specific frame. So you have like a canvas of like neutral tone gray and some really cool color pops. And even when you go to the vertical top down look, you still have that lemon bowl in the shot. And that was intentional. I did that intentionally. That's the kind of stuff that you got to consider whenever you're framing out a shot is, does it look like a photograph that you'd hang up on your wall? That's what I go by. If you look at your camera scene and it looks beautiful and you want to like take a picture of it and save it, then you probably got it right. In this case, it's the yellow lemons that in the real world are not feasible because most people don't keep lemons on their counter by themselves. But it's what makes this whole shot look fucking amazing. All right, let's keep going. Not the fat guy. He doesn't do it.
We've had our butter sitting out for about 30 minutes to an hour just to soften up because we want to use it basically as a spread. So we're going to take the butter, a whole stick of butter.
Whole stick of butter. I bet you like that.
And we're going to mix a couple of ingredients into it. Okay, and so for the butter spread, we're actually going to be using Kinder's Buttery Steakhouse and Kinder's Steak Blend. And we'll throw a little bit of garlic powder in there. And we're going to cover both sides with the butter sauce.
Cool. Okay, so let's jump off of this video. I'm going to hit that button to make it go away. What are we going to do real quick? So let me slide over here. And I'm going to just scroll through real quick here to, there's an AI generated thumbnail that you can't see, but I can. Not mine, somebody else's. I'm going to hop back just for a second. Just for a second. Not a long time. Where's the other channel at? There's that. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. Checking one thing. Nope, good, cool. So let's do this just for funsies. Let's do two things. Number one, let's hop into the fitness studio shit. Here's what I'm gonna do. I gotta charge my phone. So let me knock that out real quick. Why am I fucking echoing? What the fuck? What the fuck? Anyways, if it's echoing, my bad, y'all. If it's not, then fuck it. Anyways, I got to go charge my phone for just a second, and then I'll be back in just a second. I'll restart the live in a little bit. Let me charge that for a little bit, and I'll be back in just a second. We'll get into some stuff. All right. Peace.